Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to Deutschland. I do hope you're doing very well and having a lovely day. So we're now in October. We've got plenty of work ahead of us to get done. It's a beautiful day. The weather forecast has given sunshine all day long, so that's brilliant. Do love the sunshine on this map. It just makes everywhere look absolutely gorgeous. But work-wise, our oat field here in front of us, we have weeds in there, so we need to get some herbicide sprayed over that. We need to buy some herbicide for that to be done though, so that'll be getting done at some point. The animals are all okay for now. They've all got what they need. They're not completely full up or anything, but they've all got what they need. They've got a bit of everything, so we can leave them to it for now. The silage bunker is 42% fermented, so that's ticking over nicely, so that's excellent. The grass fields are all at the same growth stage now. We did have, obviously after the last couple of episodes, we've harvested the two big grass fields over on the top left-hand corner of the map there. But now that we've jumped into the next game day, they're regrowing away, so that's all good. We could do with topping them up with a bit of lime and a bit of fertiliser, but again, that'll be a job we'll get done ASAP. We've got two empty fields. We've got the big field underneath the church on the hill in front of us over there in the distance. We're going to put canola in that, and the other field, field 52, which is in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the one we cultivated in one of the last episodes, I think I'm going to put a wheat in there. So that's, again, work coming up. But what we have got in front of us, and this is something that I've been looking forward to for quite a while since starting this series, is our grapes. They are ready to harvest. So that's one thing I think we're gonna crack on with that. Initially, we're going to crack on with that first thing. That's going to be the first job we get done in today's episode. So I'm very keen to do that. It's a bit bad, isn't it, that this is the day after the new game has been announced. FS25 was officially announced yesterday, so that's brilliant. And obviously that comes with all new crops, things like rice and spinach, etc. And here I am, the day after the new game is announced, doing Farming Simulator 22's new crops, the grapes and the olives, for the very first time. It's terrible, that, isn't it? But I suppose at least I'm having a go at them, finally. But there was one thing that I had just noticed, and this is something that I'd never really appreciated. Jumping very quickly into the map PDA. This is one of our empty fields, field 52 down here. Now this has stones in it. Now they're all small, highlighted in yellow obviously, so they're all small stones. Now ordinarily I hadn't appreciated that I could do this, or that we could do this, but even though it's an empty field with no crop in, I can still run the field roller, because I have tested it. I can still run the field roller and push all those stones under before seeding. So in my mind, that seems like the right thing to do. I'm pretty sure that's what farmers would do, wouldn't they? Running if you've got rocks in a field, or stones in a field, sorry, you could run your roller, pushing them all under the ground if possible, if they're small enough. And then that means we can drill and minimise the damage to the drill. Does that sound about right? I think it makes sense in my mind anyway. So before we do get drilling in that field, I think that's what I'm going to do. Run the field roller and get rid of those stones. So that's something that we're going to get done as well. But like I said, really keen to get on with these grapes. So we're going to get is it Browd? How do you pronounce that thing? New Holland Browd 9070. We'll get that over to the wine cellar, to our vineyards, and our little 314 here with the trailer, the grape trailer. We'll get these bits of equipment over there, and we'll make a start on them. We'll get there one day. Right. Finally made it. It's a good job I didn't film that into the entire episode, otherwise it'd be video over, it'd be too long. But there we go. Right, here we are. So these are our two vineyards of normal red grapes that we're going to get harvested today. Very excited for that, and we're going to get them put into, because we do own this wine cellar, we're going to get our production systems going with this one. Now, I'm not going to be activating it until all the grapes are in, because I'm very curious to see what kind of a quantity we're going to get from this. I am going to do my absolute best to put it into some kind of a cinematic. I have been doing a bit of testing. Courseplay does seem to work pretty well using the grape harvester here, but I can't for the life of me seem to integrate auto drive into the same thing, and getting the grape harvester here to self-unload into the trailer that's waiting near the field. It doesn't seem to work like it does with normal grain combines and trailers. So with that in mind, I'm going to do my very best to get it done. Now, Courseplay does actually recognise both of these as one field. It kind of joins them together and makes one big field, so we're going to actually harvest the whole thing in one go instead of it being two separate vineyards, if you want to call it that. So yeah, exciting stuff, what can I say? So I think there's no point faffing around. Let's jump right into it, shall we?
Ah, the joys of editing, eh? I bet that looked smooth as anything, didn't it? It was, kind of, but I had to intervene with Courseplay at just about at the end of every single row almost. It was quite time consuming, but nonetheless,
there we are. Finished. My first go at grapes. So, let's go get what we've got in the tank here tipped into the trailer. And get the last of it tipped into the wine cellar. And we'll go see exactly how much we've got. Right, here we are. So, as you can see there, we have 9,223 litres in the trailer here, and we have got already put in here 11,807. So that will take our grand total of grapes from that harvest to 21,030 litres. So that seems pretty good. I've got no idea whether that is good or bad, obviously having never done grapes before, but either way, it's all good. But what we can now do, if I jump very quickly into the production systems menu, there we go. Oh, sorry, I'm going into the commodity prices first. There's two ways of doing this. Let's go into the production systems, forgive me. So you can turn grapes into red wine barrels, which seems to have a pretty speedy cycles per month, 12,000 cycles a month, or you can turn it into red wine bottles. Now, if we go to the commodity prices, there we go. So red wine barrels at their best price, 2,299. Forgive me, I've got my currency set to pounds here from mucking around on Court Farms before. It should be in euros, so forgive me. Yeah, 2,299 at the best price for red wine barrels, but red wine bottles, 6,250. So that seems like it's the right way to go. Now, again, going back into the production systems menu, the red wine is considerably slower cycles per month. Red wine barrels are at 12,000, red wine bottles are at 1,200. But I think it's worth the wait as it is for the better price. So I think that's the approach we're going to do. But in order to do that, I need to buy empty bottles. Now, you can do that down at the shop. So I think they're only about 200 quid for a pallet, 200 euros. So I think what we'll do now to get this thing up and running, we'll take all this equipment back to the farm, and we will jump back into the telehandler with the flatbed trailer and take a trip down to the shop and stock up on a load of bottles. Now for this one, we will have to empty the trailer of the bags of seed, so we'll go and sort that out at the farm now. And get cracking, get down to the shop. Right, back at the farm just about. So I believe, if I'm correct in saying, the next process regarding the grapes is that I need to mulch and run the pre-pruner, I think it's called, to prepare them for the next growth. So I believe what the next... I'm not going to be doing that right away. We'll be sorting that out at some point in the near future. But I think I can do that at the same time. I can put the pre-pruner on the front of the little fent that we've got there in the back, and put the pre-pruner on the front and the mulcher on the back, and get that all done in one go, I believe. Am I correct in saying that, guys? Let me know if those of you who know more about the grapes and olives than I do. But yeah, put this on the back, put that on the front, and run through the vineyards like that and get both jobs done in one. And then we run this liquid fertilizer sprayer once that's done, and then I think that's it, isn't it, until the next harvest time? I think, fingers crossed. I think I've got it roughly about where we need to be with that. But as I say, we need to jump in the telehandler. We need to go and take the bags of seed off the flatbed trailer, get our way down to the shop. We're going to buy a load of pallets of empty bottles, and I'm also going to pick up a couple of totes of herbicide as well, because we need to get the herbicide sprayed in the oat field just here in front of us. Now, the other thing I am going to have to do, because I do always play with crop destruction on, I need to equip one of the tractors with some narrow tyres just to make sure that we don't destroy any crop. So that'll cost us a couple of quid as well, but needs must. It's got to be done. Right. So it's just around here, isn't it? So let's yeah, I'll get this lot taken off, and again, much like the previous episode, I'll see you down at the shop in a few moments' time. Right, back at the shop, here we are. So let's disconnect this trailer. Now, I'm not exactly too sure how many pallets of bottles to purchase. I think I'm going to get 2 pallets, 2 totes of herbicide. 2,400 for 2,000 litres, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll go for 2 of those. 4,800 euros. It's got to be done. And then we want... back to the pallets, actually, isn't it? So we need to scroll along. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. So there's the empty wine barrels there. 500 for 1,000 litres. Here we go, right. Empty wine bottles. 200 for 1,000 litres. So I think we may as well... should I go for 8? No, yeah. We'll go for 6 for now. No, we'll go for 8. Indecisions, 3,700. Right, okay. That'll do. That'll do. We may as well get what we can while we're here. Save having to come back if I go in there not buy enough. So let's bring those tines in a bit. We'll have to get them all from this end as well. We're in time. That's the wider face of the pallet. We'll get the herbicide loaded on first. Bring those in a bit more again. There's one. Right, and this is... oh, goodness me. Yeah, this will take me a few minutes, no doubt. So I'll get this lot loaded up. And then we shall make our way over to the wine cellar to drop off these bottles. Rightio, here we are. Now, I've been faffing around with this thing for ages because they wouldn't take the pallets off the ground, but it seems that if you've got them in mid-air, there you go, it seems to work. So, job done. So let's jump out and just very quickly go into our production systems. Red wine, there we go. So we've got 8,000 litres, 8,000 litres of bottles. You can get litre bottles, I get that, but you can't measure bottles in litres. Right, so now, anyway, we can turn this on, can't we? So, red wine, activate. There we go. Lovely stuff. And the red wine that will be produced from here should appear roughly about there, in this output area. Now, it's a really handy mod, this show hide triggers mod. It is on the mod hub. Even when I have the HUD, sorry, turned off, you can still just press the equals button there on the keyboard and bring them up and get rid of them. So it's very handy. So yeah, this is where everything will spawn. In fact, let me just jump into the productions and make sure we've got our... yeah, spawn. That's right. Excellent stuff. Super. So, let's get our first taste of wine at some point, eh? Maybe we might have something there towards the end of the day. You never know. But for now, we need to crack on. I'm going to get back to the farm. And I think what I am going to do now, of all the jobs that we have got to do, we're going to jump in one of the fence, hook up the field roller, and go and get rid of those stones and get that field ready for a drilling. So, as before, I'll see you back at the farm. That'll do for now, I think. That'll do. We're going to deal with that shortly. We need to, obviously, unload what's in the sprayer there of the liquid fertilizer and swap over to the herbicide and get the weeds gone in the oat field there. But I think I'm going to very quickly jump in the other 724 here, hook up the field roller and get down to field 52 and get rolling over those stones, get this done. And then that leaves both fields ready to be drilled without the risk of damaging any of our equipment. And am I going to be too close to that? Yep. Made it, thankfully. It didn't get glitched. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. Now, I think in the last episode I did do a bit of a rolling cinematic, so I am going to get this one done off camera, but I'll join you down at the field anyway, before I do, just to show you doing it before any drilling, because this was kind of new to me. I've always just followed the instructions of the game, and if stones were in the field, then stones were in the field. I'd get the field drilled, and then once you drilled, you need to roll it. And that's when I did the rolling, and that's when the stones disappeared, if they were small enough. But having just kind of learnt, and again, it's really quite bad, isn't it? We're kind of almost at the end of the life cycle, as it were, of FARMERSIM 22, with the new game being announced yesterday. And here I am, having played the game for thousands of hours, and I've played this game solidly for years, like most of us, and I'm just learning little things like this. Feel a bit stupid, to be honest, but anyway, it is what it is. So let's get to this field. Where are we? Pulled out a bit far there, didn't I? And now I'm stuck. What am I stuck on? Oh, the road sign. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Right, see you in a sec. Right, so here we are at our freshly prepared field, because we did cultivate this a couple of episodes ago, didn't we? So let's just unfold the roller. Now, this might not be news to any of you guys. Obviously, I'm sure you are more knowledgeable than I am. But yeah, it just really interested me. I was just quite chuffed at the fact that, because I'm pretty sure farmers do this in real life, don't they? If they have stones in their field, they'll run a roller, and it's not necessarily directly after drilling. So there you go. All those stones are being rolled under. So that's awesome, isn't it? So let's just check in the map PDA just to confirm. Yeah, if we go to there, soil composition, yeah, there's the little patch we've just done, and all the yellow stones were gone. So that's awesome. But yeah, like I say, I did do a rolling cinematic in the last episode, so I'm going to relatively quickly, hopefully, get this done, and then we're going to get back to the farm and get killing those weeds. And just like that, we're done. Now that's a better texture for applying seed and drilling now, isn't it, don't you think? Not a rock, a stone in sight. Only took me about 12 minutes to get that done, so it's all good. I think it was well worth it. But please do let me know in the comments if I'm correct in doing what I've just done, running the roller just on its own with no seed in the ground, just for the pure purposes of getting rid of the stones. It seems like it makes sense in my mind anyway. Anyway, right. Now that's done. Now both of our empty fields are now absolutely ready for a drilling. We're going to get back and we're going to get rid of those weeds in the oat field. What I do need to do is stick this, or we'll do the black fent. We'll pop that in the workshop. We'll equip it with some narrow tyres. Again, like I say, just to do things correctly. And get killing those weeds. Right, for the sake of faffing around, I shall just abandon this here for now. I don't think it's going to be getting in our way too much. It can just stay there. And now what I need to do is, I think firstly we'll unload what we have in here. What have we got in here actually? 2,147 litres. So that should be a couple of totes that will land on the ground here in a second. Unload. And again, there we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so I suppose we can just do that now, can't we? I'm only going to put one tote in this one because this does have the weed spot spraying technology on here, on this sprayer, so we should use barely any, if I'm honest, of the 2,000 litres that we'll get. So there we go. There's that. And now I shall roll this into the workshop. Just sneak it in. It should get it there, I think. Open vehicle options, there we go. So customize. So it's on Mitas tyres at the minute. So now I think, do they do narrow tyres? Narrow tyres, there we go. £1,000, right. Let's go for that. Yep, thank you very much. And now everything will have completely detached for no apparent reason. There we go. PTO, cables, jump in. So let's lift that up. Let's lift the weight up. There we go. Right. Now let's go put this one to the test, because they don't look particularly narrow. The wheels on the big 1050 there look narrower than these, but let's just go put it to the test to make sure that we don't destroy any crops. Much like dipping a toe in a cold swimming pool, we'll just see if we can... There we go. Now I'm not too sure whether the crops are old enough to have crop destruction yet. I don't know if that's the thing, but like I said, I think it's just I like to try and do things as properly as I can within my limited knowledge, I suppose. So let's get this lot done, shall we? Get rid of these weeds. Right, there we go, job done. Excellent stuff. And we have used very little of this. We've got exactly 1,761 litres left in the tank, so we've barely used any there. Thanks to that weed spot spraying technology, it's very helpful. So, job done. Very happy with that. I think we have increased yield by about 1% in areas. I saw 94 and 93 when I was hovering over the weeded areas before, but now the weeds are gone. We're at 95. pH values and nitrogen values are perfect, so 95% I think is the best we're going to get from this one. But that's all good. It's all good. So we've got a bit done today. Most importantly, I've had my first go at grapes. Only 2-3 years late, what can I say? But they're done nonetheless over in the production system now in the wine cellar, so that's all good. Looking forward to seeing what we get out of those. And obviously we've got rid of our stones and we've got rid of our weeds, so we're now in a good position. Come the next episode, I think we will get the drill out and we'll get a couple of crops drilled in those fields and get on with the field prep for those as well, and maybe spread a bit of lime and fertilizer on those grass fields that are now growing again. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it here for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed it and found it even remotely fun and interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders for the channel, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, or even the new FS25, there are now promo code links for that as well. So any of that would be hugely appreciated. Your support will go a long way. Thank you very much, guys. See you in the next video.